Hello everybody, and welcome back to Musings by Nikki. These are my farm musings. My most recent musings have been farm musings. I have a set of 4. It's really hard to probably determine what is what on this table because there's just all kinds of stuff, but I have a set of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 farm country journals, and they are all a little bit different but yet similar. Is that good and vague for you? Anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to start flipping through these because it's going to take us a minute. So I'm just going to set them aside. So these 2 smaller ones are fairly similar. They are both single signature soft covers, but they're each a little different, especially with just the look of the cover. They both have 80 pages, and I believe, yeah, they both are 6x9 as well. So the cover of this one is made out of an old pair of jeans that I sliced up and cut the pocket off of, and then sewed that on and put a little ruffle of like this bandana fabric and some lace down the pocket. So that is the cover, and then the closure is just this red ribbon that I think just pops with this red bandana fabric here, and it's just slipped through the binding thread there, so you could definitely take it off and change it out if you wanted to. Like I said, it's a soft cover. And then in the pocket of the jeans are just a few extra pieces of ephemera. Now, I might as well tell you now that this book, the other one that's a single signature, and the big book, the 3 signature hardcover, they are all made using a combination of my Farmer's Wife kit, my Golden Sunny Flowers, and my Orchard Harvest. So you'll see bits and pieces of all of those. And then a lot of the ephemera comes from 2 packs. One of them is Tailor Made Journals. She has down on the farm. So that's an awesome, that is a big kit. I mean, Lorna's kits are full of all kinds of great ephemera anyway. They're big kits full of all kinds of good stuff. Get rid of that thread. And so this one was no different. And then there's the other one that I've used in here is Allegra Designs Farmhouse Ephemera Pack. It's one of those titles that has like a bunch of, you know, things in the title, but it's basically like the farmhouse ephemera. You can't mistake it. If you're gonna go looking for it, you won't mistake it. Anyway, this has great hand feel. These were very well loved, worn pair of jeans that are now very soft from wear and washing, so it has a great hand feel. And then I've stitched around the edge and put this great sunflower fabric on the inside, and then I've just gone around the edge, flipped the edge over and put a zigzag around it. So like I said, these books have 80 pages in them. There is this fold element here is in a couple of the books, so I will open it up now and show you. But we also made these, if you're interested in knowing how I made this, I made them in a video if you haven't seen that. So in the big pocket there's a journaling card, and then in this tuck spot there is a journaling card, and in this one there are journaling cards. There are a lot of, because I used a lot of this ephemera, there are a lot of great places to journal on journaling cards and stuff throughout. Then there are a couple of little tags in this pocket here, and then whoops, in this flip up pocket, side loading pocket here, there's a tag as well. And then that all closes, and the windy guy, you know, which is my loving term for this closure. And then behind the whole thing there's a giant pocket with a giant tag in it. So there we go, that is the first page. So like this is from my Golden Sunny Flowers kit. I just thought that and the Orchard and the Farmer's Wife all kind of went together really well. Bunch of clusters throughout, lace, big lace pocket here, more clusters. This is from my Farmer's Wife kit, as is that. And then there are also some pages, and you have to be really careful with some of them, are very, very finicky, but they're from, I kind of inherited slash was blessed with some really old farm journals. So this one is from 46, and they have just some of the greatest little articles and things in there. So you'll see them throughout here, that the farm journals. That's Golden Sunny Flowers. Some of these are public domain images as well. That's from my Farmer's Wife kit. Farmer's Wife. Oh, I also used, oh snap, what are they called? Ideals magazines. I got a bunch of those, and they tend to focus around, like, you know, country living and that sort of stuff as well. So I've used some of those images and things that I found and made little, you know, pockets and things out of those as well. And then this comes from a vintage encyclopedia. Guys, excuse me, my words. Let me see. We'll just sip the coffee and take a reset and pretend like that's gonna help at all. Anyway, I have a whole set of vintage encyclopedias from the 50s. So this is from a farm machinery, and I cut the pictures up and made a big tag to go in there. Then I also made these on a recent tutorial, this punched tin tag, and it has ephemera in the pockets here. It says farming down there, and you can write on the back of that. This is from Orchard Harvest, as is that lined one. This is another, let's see, this one's from 1935. This is from Farm Journal, October 1935. I just love it. Golden Sunny Flowers, lots of lace and stuff on the sides here. This is from an old book that I have. It's like called The Music Reader for Lutheran schools, I think, or children. And it had some fun songs in there. This one's called The Farmer. It says, do you wonder how the farmer, do you wonder how the farmer, do you wonder how the farmer sows his oats in the fields? Now so does the farmer, now so does the farmer sow his oats in the field. Fun. Then there's just a big tag in here. I also printed off some quotes from people about farming and farm animals and that sort of stuff. This is another one from 1935. It's the other side of that, Young Farmers at Work and Play. These are vintage seed packets, and I got those from Old Design Shop, and that's from my Farmer's Wife kit. This is more of that pretty sunflowers fabric. Some ledger. That's from my Farmer's Wife kit, as is this. I love this picture. So that's the center of the signature. Oh, and there are some little wooden beads, or wooden buttons, flower and heart on the bottom there. Paper ruffles, fabric ruffles, more clusters. Oh, this is another one that goes to, this is from the encyclopedia, and it says, going to get the mail is a welcome chore for the farm boy. He looks super excited for the mail. This is out of the book that I actually repurposed over there, and you'll get to see the full thing. But it was, it's a children's book from the 50s called I Love the Country, or I Like the Country. And it's got these little poems and songs and stuff. It's super cute. So I turned a page of that into a little mini notebook here. It's got some writing in there, and that's just slipped behind here. More of that vintage farm journal. More clusters. This is more of the Vintage Farm Journal. Orchard Harvest. This is that. Here's another one of the tags. It has one of my burlap folders in there and a little cutout mason jar. And then I also used my farm stamps. So I have a set of stamps. Like I have the butterfly and the ones and floral ones, but I also have a farm set, so I use those throughout as well. This is another page from that songbook. It opens up, so here they are putting the hay up onto the wagons, and then here they're having a hay ride. And there's a journaling card behind that. And Farmer's Wife. Here is a tall pocket and a page from the encyclopedia, and it says pets and play have their place in the lives of farm boys and girls. And then behind it there are some more images on this journaling card from that encyclopedia farm article. This mason jar, can you see that it looks like it's in glass here? The stems are in glass. Anyway, we made that on a recent tutorial as well on my channel. If you're interested, you can go find that. More of the old, I love the old ads and stuff too. This is a cool paper pad. Here's another picture of some vintage farm working in that encyclopedia. And then this was from the Ideals magazine, and I just made it into a big pocket. And in the pocket there are a couple of large journaling tags. So with all the journaling cards and the pages in here, the 80 pages, this has actually got quite a bit of journaling space, and then there's just my maker's mark there. So that is number 1 of 4. We'll tie her up and move her aside, and then we'll look at the next one. This one, I would like to say, is when you have just enough knowledge about something to be dangerous. That's this with my quilting knowledge. I decided that I wanted to use, this is just a piece of muslin, and I haven't even slipped it underneath anything, so it's just tied on. But this cover I patchworked together, and then I don't know, can you tell? You can kind of see some of the stitching, right? I just did crazy quilting around, but there is a layer of, like a thin layer of foam padding underneath this, so it is quite plush. And then I'm not super good at putting banding on or anything like that, because seriously, I just really, I mean, you know, quilting this was enough for me, and that was impressive enough. Oops, I'm losing something there. So this is a band. It's the same sunflower material, but I've just torn the edges and then zigzagged around it, but that's nice and plushy too, so it's kind of fun. This is a piece of ephemera from that Allegra digitals, and then I've layered it with some cheesecloth and muslin on there, and then there are a couple of wooden heart buttons on the ties. And this, like, again, it does have really nice hand feel. I quilted, so I put there's a piece of cardstock in there, and then the foam, and then the quilting on top of that, so it does have a little bit of body. It's not a completely like fabric soft cover. It does have some body in there. I just thought I would do that because it would maybe protect the book a little better. And then I just quilted it over this as the back fabric, which is this, this is actually vintage fabric that I don't even remember where I got it, but I got it right when I started journaling, journal making. So again, same kits I've used in here. This little pocket flip out here, and then there's a pocket here with the mason jar, and that's one of my stamps, my country stamps. And then that flips back, and these and this tag in that pocket are from Golden Sunny Flowers. And then I have I've got a piece of string everywhere on this one because of the quilting mayhem. Anyway, this is a dimensional little sunflower down here. Cutesy. tuck spot on the back there with the envelope. Library pocket. This comes in my Farmer's Wife kit. So it's a little farmer's yearbook, and it has different measurements and crop rotation records and miscellaneous tables, egg record. So anyway, that's cute. You can make this little book up from there. So that's in the kit. And then a long time ago, in the first Happy Mail I ever got, my friend Terry sent me some of these Dairymen's Cooperative like share checks, and I have copied them, like scanned and copied them, so you get some of those in there. And then some more ephemera. These I think are from Graphics Fairy, actually, now that I'm looking at them. This is from my Farmer's Wife kit. Clusters. There's the farmer. This, I Like the Country. This came from the book that I repurposed the cover on, and so that's from its main page. And there's just this big journaling card stuck up under there. Did I skip a page? No. Another big pocket with some ephemera journaling cards in there. Farm Fresh. Oh, here's some more. This one is from 1946. Here's the latest in Dairy Barns. That's from my Orchard Harvest kit. Then you've got a big fabric flip here with just some fabric cluster going on the corner there. Here we have some seed packets envelopes that so these are journaling cards in here. And then here's a little tag here. And you can journal in here. There's another seed packet in this one. And then there's one of my stamps on a mason jar there. And this is from Proverbs. It says, "Those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no food at the harvest." So true about so many things in life, but here specifically about the harvest. More fabric ruffles. Some more ephemera. I love this image. Some more ephemera. These came from Old Design Shop. These are the cutest. There's one more size, but these are from that Allegra Digitals kit. So cute. And then milk that comes with it as well. And then this actually pocket flips open, so there's more journaling, hidden journaling space in there. And this is the center of the signature. Like I said, there are two little heart buttons tied on. Little piggies. Some more ephemera. This is a little vintage doily that I've been cutting pieces off of for quite a while. That's from my Farmer's Wife kit. Here's another one of those tags that are supposed to look like punched tin. This is another one of those seed envelope things. I'm not going to open it up because it's the same as the one I just did. There's another one of my stamps. More of that cool old vintage. I have to be really careful when I turn those. I did reinforce the ones that were really like to be really careful with them. I did reinforce them with some washi so that they would not tear out of the signature as easily. This is more from that Ideals. And then here I tucked in a page of some old farm journal that had some interesting stuff on it. Virtually everything is interesting on in those magazines. They were fun to read through. Some strawberry paper. Here's another one of those songs. Here's a big piece of ephemera. That one I believe comes from Allegra. And this one says A Pony Ride. A couple pieces of ephemera in this little pocket. And there is the back of that one. So that one, like I said, 6x9, softish cover, 80 pages. Okay, now let's go to this one. This one is like the kitschy version of country farm journals. This one was so fun to make. I have had this book forever and was so excited to someday turn it into a farm journal, and I finally did. It was not a very thick book. It was a skinny little book, and you'll see a bunch of the original pages in here. I've sewn them back in with my other stuff. It has this big fun tassel on the front. Thanks to Gina at the Firefly Studio 67. It has a little jingle bell on there. She reminded me of that. I love how she does that in some of her tassels and things. It's got some wooden buttons, some vintage buttons, a bunch of fabrics and laces, all tied in there that kind of just match the same colors here. And then it goes through this little hook right on the front, and it just flips up and out of the way when you're ready to work in it. The book is from the 1950s. It does have some wear on it, but I think that's part of what makes it brilliant. The spine looks like it's got a little bit of a tear here, but honestly, I have reinforced the heck out of the spine, so I would not worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it for a second. And there is the back of it. It's just got these cute little farmer country scenes here. So it's called I Like the Country, and then the closure is a doubled up red ribbon through some eyelets here on the side. And this one measures 9.5 by 8, and it has 80 pages. And the one thing that is different in this one is I've used some of the other ephemera as well, but in this one I've also used a kit by KB and Friends, and it's called Retro Farm Cutout Book. And this is that. This is the whole thing cut, printed, and assembled like into the actual book. Okay, so I'll show you this, but then we'll see all the little pieces of it throughout. So super cute, right? So like it's the scene, and then there's the scene, and there's the scene with the animals, and you could probably like cut them out and put them on the page, you know, glue them on the page like little kids. Isn't that fun? And that's, can you identify all these animals? So these are the original lining pages of the book. I just made this big pocket, and you get the whole book made up right there. And then this was a California State textbook, Music for Living series. So I have stitched on some papers. Let's see, am I all the way across? Okay, yeah. This part of the barn flips out, and in the little pond there is a little cow and some ephemera. Then these are some of the original pages from the book. So like I said, it had just little rhymes, little poems, little sayings, and then a few little songs in it as well. These papers I printed from Graphics Fairy. Then little, in some of these guys here, they're made into little pockets, some of the cutouts. Here's the contents from that book. Here is a little, you know, milk crate, and with all three of the little quart jar, pint jar, half pint, super cute. That's from Allegra. This, I think when I saw this, I was like, yep, I want that kit. Then I've just cut some of the cutouts out throughout here, and then there's different types of ephemera, farm ephemera in the pockets. Like I said, this is much more of the like bright kind of kitschy version of the oh come on now, of the farm journal. Here behind the duck pond is some more ephemera. There's one of the full pages. Here I've cut out the top part and it's a tuck spot. I've also sewn on some, you know, burlap ribbons and things along the edges. I fussy cut that part out of one of the pages and turned it into a pocket. I printed the pages out, so that's the 5x7 small version in the front. And here's some little sheep and lammies. Let's go walking. I printed it out at 5x7, which is in the front, and then I blew it up and printed out so I could cut out some of the images bigger. This little pocket, the Oliver chilled plow. Behind the horse, there's a little postcard. The song about the little red wagon. Some dairy tickets. This comes in the Allegra Digital kit as well. It's the center of the signature. So you've got this up here, and you've got this guy down here. And this cute little egg. And tucked behind this little cow, we've got a little piece of ephemera. Potato planter advert. Some of that bright red bandana. Won't you be my darling? Just one little, I think this is just the cutest thing. Sometimes there's just one little tiny line of a song, and that's it. That's literally it. It's not even anything else on the other page. It's just this one little thing. Every evening the children lead the cows home from the pasture to the barn, and they must sing this song about leading the cows, the lazy cows, from the pasture in the evening. Butter. There's a pocket with some more little bits of ephemera. And that's another tuck spot up there for this postcard. This is about Christmas on the farm and the cat in the snow. There's another little ephemera back there. And one up here. Farm action. This is another big pocket with some ephemera in there. There's another tuck spot here. More page from the songbook. I'm just pulling the ephemera in and out really quick because it's the same ephemera kits that I used. This is the back of the larger version of the kit, and then I printed out one of the pages. So you could journal on that as well. But like I was saying, this is a lot of the same ephemera in several of the books, so we don't need to keep looking at it. Then this flips up, and there are a couple of mason jars back here. It says Farm Family. Spring is coming. Spring is here. Thank goodness. And then in the back pocket, there is an envelope, just a polka dot envelope, with all the cut out pieces of animals and stuff. So I figure you could use them as journaling cards, or, you know, if you wanted to give this to a kid, a younger kid, they could help you go through and glue them all in. Or whatever. There was a whole packet. I cut the whole thing out because I thought it was fun. Because I was having fun with the cut apart farm friends. Okay, so there's that one. And last but certainly not least, we've got the big girl. She's a big girl. This one is 6x9. It has 132 pages. It is 3 signatures. It is featuring the same kits and ephemera as are in the other ones. It's a hardcover. I've used some layering up here. This is the background. This wheat and bright blue sky is from the Ideals magazine. Then I sewed on this piece of ephemera with some lace behind it and a little lace bow. And then on the spine, the signatures are sewn right through the spine, but then I covered that up with a layer of lace and then some of that ruffled up bandana fabric. And the spine is also extra reinforced with this sunflower fabric. And then the most of the book, or the base of the book that's covered on the cover here, is an old flannel shirt. So it is super soft. And then the closure is just some twine, and that goes back behind the closure there. And let's just take a look at this lady. This one, look, this is my fave, right? When you open it up and there's just all kinds of wonderful fluffiness and stuff, chunky fluffy. That's my fave. So let's see, on the front I have another one of those pockets, the ones that I made on a tutorial recently. So it opens up here and this flips down here, and this is a pocket, pepper and salts. And then in this pocket there are just some little cooking things, measurements, you know, farm kitchen-y stuff. And then in here there are a couple of recipe cards from Graphics Fairy. Those are from. In this pocket there is a little pull-out tag and it says Farmhouse Kitchen. So this was kind of a kitchen themed folding pocket folio thing. And then the whole thing makes a pocket, and behind that there is a recipe card as well, and that's from Graphics Fairy. So there's that. Then this was an experiment that I fell in love with. So I found this like chicken wire looking, it's actual wire, right? So can you see? It's actual wire. So I found this at Hobby Lobby last year and picked it up and thought, oh my gosh, that looks like chicken wire. I want to use that in a journal. But then I was like, how do you use wire mesh in a journal? So after lots of fussing and experimenting and bending wires around and things, so not capping them off so it wouldn't get hurt, I came up with this pocket. I made one because it was a pain in the booty, but I love how it looks, and it's over this wood grain here, and it makes a pocket for these chickens. Look, chickens, go back in your coop now. Same basic kits. There are some little bits of old farm journals in here as well. Big pocket right there. I think some of these images are from the TaylorMade. This is another, that's an old John Deere ad. What's that one from? Oh, we'll see when we get to the other side. These two little envelopes flip out and have journaling cards in them. These little mini coffee stain polka dot envelopes will be coming soon to my shop. Joy my 13-year-old has been working diligently on getting a bunch of stuff she's going to put in my shop, journal supplies. There are also going to be some packs of these little mason jar cutout tags. So just throwing that out there. There's a big long journaling tag, barnwood, red barnwood. These are from an old dictionary page about the different types of hens and roosters, and so I've cut some of those up and they're kind of sprinkled throughout the book as well. This is just double-sided tag that's going over the edge of this page here. This is one of the Tim Holtz people, and I cut off one of the words from the bottom of my Farmer's Wife kit and said it's the farmer's wife. And she's, you know, doing her thing. There you go. There is nothing in the centers, like there are nothing, no dangles on the centers of this one. By the time I got done with the cover, I was like, woo, that's busy enough. Here's the sewing page from my Farmer's Wife kit. So I printed out, these are from Tracy's Faux Ephemera, and sewed some buttons onto this button card and wound some string around this mending thread. And then this is from a vintage needle craft book. So I clipped all that on with the clip on top there. It's a pretty picture. It says fresh off the vine. There's a pocket with some ephemera. So like I said, it's the same ephemera kits that I used throughout these books, with the exception of that cut apart one. These are from oh my gosh, seriously, they're from Amy McFerrin, who is Glamping Bear, or Glamping and Glitter on, here's another one of those checks, Glamping Bear on in her Etsy shop. She's got a bunch of these great, like, I think they're old cigarette cards, so she's cleaned some of them up, and they're great kits. So I had some of the bird ones printed out, so I put them in here as well. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see if we can see the year on this one. 1946. There's that 1946 John Deere ad. It's another journaling card here. This cherry paper. And it's a cute little bow with a button sewn on and some lace. Some doilies. This is an envelope that I made. So it's like a little recipes envelope, and when you open it up, there are some recipe cards. These are from Graphics Fairy as well. And I just made this accordion folder here in basically the same style that I made the larger one that I did on a video recently as well. And then those just go down in there. And I sewed some lace around that one. I'll go one more time around. Over here we have, this is a little one of my file folders, but it opens up and there's journaling space in there as well, and it's just held shut with a Tim Holtz paper clip. And then it's also a pocket and a nice big felt sunflower there. This is the beginning of the second signature. This is a vintage seed packet, floating pocket there. This is some of that, those are some of the pages from that book that we just saw, the children's book. Here's just punched tin tag right there. And that's some more old, I think that one's from the 30s, farm journal. This is another one of the pocket or tags. Here's another one of the little ones clipped on the top. Some milk tops. In the center of this signature, we've got a big pocket over here, and then a pocket here with some advert for a piano, and one of the tags from my Farmer's Wife kit. This came from an ephemera pack, or I mean from a paper pack. I do not remember who it's by. And then here's another one of my stamps, farm stamps on a mason jar. There are a bunch of them sprinkled throughout here, the farm stamps. It's a beautiful horse. Every time I see this picture, it reminds me of you, Terry. If you're watching, that reminds me of you and your horsey. And then these are a couple actual vintage photos. Those came from Lorna's kit, I believe. I do believe. Yeah. Aubergine. Another that cute little round egg tag. It's not really round, is it? Sunoco Mercury made motor oil. This one's from 1935, the Farm Journal from 1935. This is the alfalfa news. Fun fact, my mom and dad moved up north before my dad became a pastor. They were alfalfa farmers for a minute. That's kind of funny because they did not grow up in the farm for sure. This is another one of those songs. It's called I Want to Be a Farmer, a Farmer, a Farmer. I want to be a farmer and by my lady stand. Isn't that so sweet? I want to be a farmer and by my lady stand. Good values, guys. This is from that that same paper pack. I wish I could remember who it's called, who it was by, but apple varieties and how to prepare an artichoke. Back of this signature, there's 3 layers of pockets. This is some of that punch tin. I just love the way that looks as a pocket right there. I mean, it looks like metal, right? Looks like a backsplash. There's some more adverts, a ball advert for canning fresh farm milk. And then in this top pocket there is a recipe card back here. It's much the same as the other ones we've seen. This is another one of those twisty open pockets. I'm not gonna go through that whole one, but this one is on a hinge, and it has a couple of these seed packets that you can open up and journal in. This pocket comes from my Farmer's Wife kit, and then these little scissors tuck in here so they're not flopping around. But this one, if you're interested in seeing this one or how I made it, I made that one with you guys on the video. Whoops, flipped one too many pages. That's from my Orchard Harvest. There's a little tag and some collaging up there. It's a little seed envelope here that just has journal card in there. And then before I put that back on, the clip is also holding this in, and this is from May of 1928. This is the Farm Journal from May of 1928, and so some of the pages were kind of really falling apart, so I cut out the pieces that I could salvage and I put some of them in here. So this is a big flip out. This I love. It is talking about a president to be nominated soon, and so they're saying, who is your choice for president? Here are the straw vote poll figures, and I'll tell you, the only names that I recognize on here would be Hoover and Coolidge, because the rest of the people didn't obviously make it into the presidency. Anyway, here are some more like little ads and stuff that are from that same Farm Journal, and lots of space here that you could journal. And then this is also a tuck spot. I didn't put anything in there, but you could tuck things in there as well. This one I love. It's a $52,000 bull, and you guys have to just see, can you see this picture of how this is the fattest bull ever? His belly is almost dragging on the ground. Love it. Feels like that's how I feel some days. Anyway, this whole thing, the clip holds this on, but it also holds this flippy thing in here. Let me recenter. We're almost there, guys. 1946. Trucks and cows have a lot in common, it says. And see for yourself these boots. This is a Tim Holtz. I wish they still made this. It's like a metal look. And you see, is it catching the light? Kind of. I don't know. It's like a metal look thing. It's really cool. Here is another punched in tag that's attached with the clip. Center of the last signature. Here's another one of those tags from Amy. And then a couple pieces of like this little advertisement book. And it's just talking about different places to buy lace and linings and fabrics and all the things that a farmer's wife, you know, might need. Here's a little pocket here with a tag. More Old Farm magazine. This big tag pulls out of these like photo corners. They're stuck in there like that. A little pocket down here with a little tag, and this tuck spot up here. Here's a recipe for pie crust and pie filling. That's from my Orchard Harvest. And then on the back there is a big pocket here with some ephemera, and I tucked a piece of one of the farm journals in there. Talks about how to freeze lunches for your husband. There's a tall tag back behind this pocket here, and then this is talking about farm life. It's from that old encyclopedia. And then here's one more of the file folders that I turned into a booklet, so there's journaling space in there as well. There's my maker's mark, and that is the end of this lady. So guys, we made it in just under 50 minutes. It's hard to do 4 books in one video, I know. But thank you for coming and putting up with me and watching my books, my flip throughs. And these will be in my shop at the time that this video airs. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below, or you can get to me at my Etsy shop. And thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit today. I will be back sometime soon with who knows what's coming next. Oh, but soon, Joy's Etsy stock up of Joy's section of the shop. That'll probably be the next video that comes up here. I just have to make all the listings, which is the boring part of doing the fun thing of creating her little entrepreneurial, you know, summer job. So anyway, stay tuned for that one, please, because I'm really looking forward to Joy getting a chance to do some just some experiential learning with putting stuff in a shop and learning how to do that part. We're making a spreadsheet she's got to run and whatever. So anyway, more about that later. It is Friday. This will go up on Saturday, but here in the US it is Memorial Day weekend. So everybody that if any of you have served or currently serve in the military, thank you. Hats off. We are hugely supportive of the military, and we are extremely grateful and indebted to the people the men and women who bravely sign up, volunteer, and defend our country and our freedoms. And so thank you so much for your service. And to anyone that has lost somebody in the service, our family has, I think unfortunately a lot of people have, but thank you for your sacrifice as well. So anyway, have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, guys. Things are starting to open up here a little bit, so I might try and take a run to Hobby Lobby, because our Hobby Lobby just opened up today. So I think I'm gonna try and run over there this afternoon. Just well, actually, I have a reason. I just used the last of my Fabri-Tac to put this onto here, literally. So I have to go. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of here, because now we're gonna hit that 50-minute mark, and oh my goodness, I can't believe you're probably still here. Nobody's still here watching this. For me to say to have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, whatever time it is, on whatever side of this wonderful, magnificent planet of ours that you live on. And until I see you guys again next time, stay safe, stay healthy, take care, and God bless. Bye-bye, guys.